This is Vargas, and I am back with another pickup video. Um, I think I mentioned this before, and through Movie Freak Bazaar, before the plague got bad, he still was doing online sales, and he was still selling stuff. I was able to buy stuff, 2 weeks worth of stuff, and but I wasn't able to go pick it up, and then the whole plague thing really got serious, so I still wasn't able to go pick up stuff. But this week Movie Bazaar did have one more online sale. I was able to buy some more stuff, and today I was able to get together with him and pick it up. So this is all the stuff that I got, that I had in storage with him, and stuff that I got this week. So I'm gonna split it up because it's quite a bit actually. So let's start. I don't want to ramble. So let's start with wrestling. He got the last 2 weeks. He got a huge haul of wrestling DVDs, WWE, and I got as many as I could afford because I can't. I didn't want to go like super crazy with all the movies that all the DVDs that he had. So let's get started with just randomly TLC, Tables, Ladders, and Chairs 2015. The main event in this one had Sheamus will defend against Roman Reigns. Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose will fight in a battle for the Intercontinental Championship. And then the New Day fights against the Lucha Dragons and the Usos in a triple threat match. And also has Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks. And it has some more, but that's all it says on the back. So, TLC 2015. Then, these are all out of order. But this is The Great American Bash with Tori Wilson. This is 2005. And it has Batista versus JBL for the World Heavyweight Championship. Orlando Jordan versus Chris Benoit. Number one contender match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Undertaker versus Muhammad Hassan, which the Undertaker won. Eminem versus the Road Warrior Animal and Heidenreich. And Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio. So that was pretty cool. Then the Great American Bash got lowered to just The Bash. So this is The Bash 2009. This one has a World Heavyweight Championship match between CM Punk and Jeff Hardy. I think Jeff Hardy won that one. I don't remember. 3 Stages of Hell between Randy Orton and Triple H. John Cena versus The Miz. The ECW Championship. Tommy Dreamer Christian versus Jack Swagger versus Mark Henry versus Finlay. Melina versus Michelle McCool. Chris Jericho versus Rey Mysterio. And Carlito and Primo versus Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase versus Edge and Chris Jericho. So that's one. Money in the Bank 2014. The main event is a ladder Money in the Bank match. Then the titles, they had one for Money in the Bank, so whoever got the contract would get number one contendership. And the other one had titles on there, and I just realized that this is in Spanish. I don't know. It's Spanish in the back, and I didn't notice that. Yeah. Then this is Vengeance 2006 with the X on the cover there. This one had for the WWE Championship, Rob Van Dam versus Edge. 5-on-2 handicap match between the Spirit Squad and DX. Lumberjack match between John Cena and Sabu. Kane versus Fake Kane. Ric Flair versus Mick Foley. Randy Orton versus Kurt Angle. Shelton Benjamin versus Carlito versus Johnny Nitro, and Eugene versus Umaga. So yeah, this one, a lot of people really hate this one. Every time I hear someone mention this, it's regarded like the worst pay-per-view WWE has ever done. And but he had it, and I wanted to get it, and it's December to Dismember, which is, I think, would probably kill the ECW brand. But this has the Extreme Elimination Chamber between the Big Show, Bobby Lashley, Rob Van Dam, Sabu, Test, and CM Punk. Yeah. Then Survivor Series 2006, maybe? Survivor Series 2006. This has D-Generation X, CM Punk, Matt Hardy, and Jeff Hardy versus Team Rated RKO, Johnny Nitro, Mike Knox, and Gregory Helms. Another one is John Cena, Kane, Bobby Lashley, Sabu, and RBD versus Big Show, Test, MVP, Finley, and Umaga. Then we have Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, Ron Simmons, and Sanjay Slaughter versus Kenny, Johnny, Mickey, and Mikey, Spirit Squad maybe. King Booker versus Batista, Undertaker versus Mr. Kennedy, Chris Benoit versus Chavo Guerrero, and Lita versus Mickey James. And we have Taboo Tuesday. This is in 2004, and it has Triple H versus Shawn Michaels, Eugene versus Eric Bischoff, Randy Orton versus Ric Flair, Kane versus Gene Snitsky, Chris Jericho versus Shelton Benjamin, Chrissy versus Carmella, and Trish Stratus versus Victoria versus Molly Holly versus Jazz versus Nydia versus Gail Kim versus Stacy Keibler for the women's championship match, championship title. And Laura Sistons versus Edge and Chris Benoit. Taboo Tuesday. And also picked up Getting Rowdy, the unreleased matches of Roddy Piper. It's a 2-disc set. And it has a bunch of matches that were not supposedly it's a bunch of matches that were not previously released in DVD form. Because I do have the Born to Controversy documentary on Roddy Piper, but I saw this one, I had to pick it up. This one is one that I've been hunting for a while, and it's No Way Out. This is the pay-per-view where Eddie Guerrero won the WWE Championship from Brock Lesnar, and this set up one of the best moments in WrestleMania 20, where Eddie Guerrero retained against Kurt Angle, and Chris Benoit won the World Heavyweight Championship against Triple H and Shawn Michaels. And at the end, they had a really emotional moment, him and Chris Benoit. But this was the big one, and I've been trying to find this DVD for a while. Finally got it, and I got a copy of WrestleMania 15 to add to my WrestleMania collection. This one, I didn't actually read this one, but it has Brock Lesnar versus Eddie Guerrero, which Eddie Guerrero won. Kurt Angle versus John Cena versus Big Show for the #1 contendership, which Kurt Angle won, which he went against Eddie Guerrero. Rey Mysterio versus Chavo Guerrero, Nydia versus Joey Noble, Rikishi and Scotty 2 Hotty versus the Basham Brothers, Hardcore Holly versus Rhino, APA versus World Greatest Tag Team, and Ultimo Dragon, Paul London, and Billy Kidman versus Taijiri, Akio, and Sadoka. But I bought it because this is the one where Eddie Guerrero wins. And WrestleMania 15 has The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin 1, because this is the first time they clashed. The Rock, I think, went heel. Then they fought again in WrestleMania 17. That's when Austin went heel. And then they fought again in WrestleMania 19, if memory serves me right. But it also has Shane McMahon versus X-Pac, Sable versus Tori, Road Dogg and Ken Shamrock versus Val Mendes versus Goldust, Bart Gunn versus Butterbean, Triple H versus Kane, Undertaker versus Big Boss Man. This is the one where Undertaker hangs Big Boss Man, and I think that's been edited in the network, I've heard. I'm not sure, I don't have the network. Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett versus D'Lo Brown and Test. Billy Gunn versus Hardcore Holly versus Al Snow. And The Big Show versus Mankind. Yeah, got another WrestleMania for the collection because I have I there's 36 WrestleManias. I think I only have half, so I still have to work on my WrestleMania collection. But pretty cool, pretty cool to add another WrestleMania because I need more WrestleManias. So got some really good wrestling DVDs. I know that a lot of people will say, "Why do you still collect, wrestling DVDs if you can get the network and just have everything?" I haven't gotten the network because I've heard that the network edits a bunch of stuff. I see it on YouTube. WWE releases matches on YouTube, and I noticed that they do edit a bunch of stuff. So I'm assuming the network's the same way. And they also, I've heard they edit wrestlers out, like Chris Benoit. They don't like mentioning Chris Benoit, and so yeah. But that's why I like collecting the DVDs because even though there are some edits between the actual pay-per-view and then the DVD release, it's not as notorious as when it comes out on the network. Or so I've heard. Maybe there really isn't any difference, but I like to get it. Just a shame that this is in Spanish. I don't like getting stuff in Spanish, but it will play on my DVD, so I guess it's fine. At least the spine is okay. Because the thing about Mexico is that Mexican releases flip the letters, so they look weird. But no, I'm just rambling. But yeah, these were the wrestling DVDs I got. I feel I got some really good ones. Really happy with what I got. So yeah, these will go great on my collection. I still need to get a bunch of WrestleMania. So this is the first part of the DVD haul. I'm gonna do another one. Macabra's gonna do the last one because we got some horror movies. So stay tuned.